Hello! This video from the Computer Department Incorporated will go over each step involved in installing the DLSFinancials main program onto your network or remote desktop program server. You should have gotten a program called Network Setup from a representative of the Computer Department Inc. With this program, you will run it on the main computer or server where the data and other shared files will be stored. This server should be backed up on a nightly basis in order to help prevent data loss from hardware failures, viruses, or hackers that seek to damage your system. Run the Network Setup program and click through the intro page, Basic License Agreement, and the README file. You will be allowed to open this file at the end of the server setup process in order to print if you would like. The next page is the install location. For the best security, we advise you to place the DLS files in a folder that can't be reached through a mapped drive. Mapped drives provide a roadmap for hackers and viruses to move through your network. We advise using Universal Naming Conventions, or UNC. Use the Browse button, or simply enter the path where you want to install. Make sure that the last folder name is DLSFinancials, which will be created by the program. Review the instructions on the next page and then click the Install button when you are ready to put the files on the server. Once all the files and folders have been created, you will be able to check the Open README file in order to review and print when you click on Finish. The README file contains written instructions similar to this video on installing the program on the workstations. Once you have finished the server setup, you will need to go into the server's security and create a user group named DLS users. The people that should be in this group are only network users that will be actually using the DLSFinancials main program. In this example, we are adding only the 2 people that will be using the program to this group so that we can ensure that only those people have full access to the DLSFinancials folder and subfolders. Next, go to the DLS Financial folder on the server and right-click on the folder name and select Properties. From there, go to the Security tab to see who currently has permission to be in this folder. Click on the Edit button below the list and then the Add button. Here you can type in the group name and click on Check Names to have it complete the full path to the group record. Once saved, you will go back to the permissions list with this group highlighted. Click on the full control in the permissions for this group, and then Apply and OK. Review the others on the list, and take off any users or groups that should not have permission to see or work in this folder. Next, go to the Sharing tab and click on the Share button. Here you will see the owner and the DLS user group to share this folder with, and click on the Share button here to create the share for these people under the name of DLSFinancials. Note the full UNC path name to use in the other parts of the install process. For one more layer of protection, click on the Advanced Sharing button and click on the Permissions button. Here, click on the Add button and add the DLS users group and give them full control and click Apply. Next, highlight the user Everyone and click on Remove. This prevents anyone else from actually seeing this share when searching the network. Click Apply and then OK twice and then close. This next chapter is on how to install DLSFinancials onto a workstation connected to the server that you just set up. If you are going to use DLSFinancials on a remote desktop program or RDP server, skip to the next chapter. From the workstation, go to your Windows Explorer and enter the UNC path to the DLSFinancials folder that you just installed. From there, go into the Updates and Data folder and then to the WS Files folder. In this location, you will find the Workstation Install program. Just double-click this file to start the install and click through all the pages without changing any settings. Once you have finished the install, you will see that the program configuration switch is checked, click Finish, and you will be taken to the version control wizard to configure that part of the program. The next chapter is for installing DLSFinancials on a RDP server. Skip that to get to the version control wizard chapter. The RDP Server Install is very similar to the Workstation Install, but instead of installing only once per machine, you will be installing once for each user. That will be running DLSFinancials main program from this server. After setting up the user's profiles for this server, use the Windows Explorer to go to the UNC location for DLSFinancials. Continue to the Updates and Data folder, and then to the WS Files folder, where you will find the RDP Server Install program. Right-click on this file and select the Run as Administrator because you must be an administrator in order to install in each of the user's area. When you get to the installation folder form, you will see that it is installing into the current user's location. If this is not the person that you need to install DLS for, then change the name to the correct user, leaving everything else the same, and click the Install button. When the install is completed, you can go ahead and leave the program configuration checked and click on the Finish button to go into the version control wizard for this user. Or you can uncheck it and click Finish so that you can install DLSFinancials into the next user. The program configuration or version control wizard is used to have DLS automatically update each of the installs automatically when the user starts DLS. This program is officially called the check-ver program and is what the shortcut for DLS actually starts. You cannot start DLS directly and can only start it through the check-ver program. If the version control wizard was not allowed to run after the install or was cancelled before completing, the version control wizard will automatically start when you try and start DLS. When the opening screen comes up for the wizard, you will click on the OK button to take you to the first field that needs to be completed. This is the path and file name to msaccess.exe. Click on the ellipsis button at the end of the field and browse to the location. If the current location has a folder named root, look under the folders there, otherwise it should be in one of the Office folders. Scroll to the bottom of the folder to see the program and select it to put in the field. Next will take you to another form where it needs the UNC to the DLSFinancials folder and select the Updates and Data folder as the update location. Once it sees that you have entered the correct location, it will turn on the Next button when you tab out of the field. Once you click on Next, DLS will then update the workstation and start DLS. Everything is working if you get this message in Access or after initializing, you arrive at the Workstation Setup or Logon form. The Workstation Setup form will come on when you start DLS. If the workstation has not been configured yet, there is a problem with the data file or the network connection. Most of the fields are filled in by using the ellipsis button at the end of the field so that you can select the file that you want. The top field is the data file path and name. A data set has the MDD file type, but if your location uses more than one data set or more than one MDD file, then you will have a special data file of type MDU. If you have an MDU file type given to you, the program will not allow you to select an MDD file type. Select the file type that your system is designed for. The MDU file holds the login information and security to allow you to work in more than one MDD file. The follow two fields are optional. One is the diocese logo or shield, which you can have placed on the statements and letters that you print from DLS. The other is a signature file for the person that you have that signs those letters. If left blank, nothing will print. If you want to use an accounting interface, you will need to turn it on within DLS. Once turned on, you will be able to set this workstation up to export the interface files to the selected path. The terminal code is added to the file name so that you can tell that it came from this workstation. It must be a unique code from other workstations. If left blank, the date and time will be added to the file name to keep it unique and prevent the file from being overwritten. Depending on the accounting system selected, you may need to add a code here. Find out from the accounting system what the code value is. Other accounting systems use SQL for the interface, so you will need to get the SQL DNS and database name to connect to it. Once everything has been completed, click on the OK/Force Reconnect Data button. This will cause the program to drop all connections to the old data table and reconnect them to the new data file. If you return to the Workstation Setup form again automatically, odds are the network is having an issue or the data is corrupted. To fix the data, have everyone get out of DLS and then open the MDD file in MS Access by itself. If corrupted, it should tell you and automatically run a compact and repair process. If the process doesn't start, then go to Database Tools and run the process manually. Once completed, exit, and then start DLS again. If you still go to the Workstation Setup, then contact DLSFinancials support. Warning: we understand that you want to be able to use DLS from a remote location, and we provide you with that opportunity with the Remote Desktop Program Install. But we will have some dioceses that have been led to believe that they can use a VPN or virtual private network with DLS. Whoever told you this is wrong. Every database programmer will tell you that using VPN for managing large amounts of data will not work. As an example, just selecting a location in account maintenance will take only a few seconds to come up under most normal conditions, but on VPN it could take several minutes. Report several hours. Please do not install DLS where it will connect to the data via a VPN connection. You will not be happy and will want to complain about the speed. We are happy to help set you up with some sort of configuration with RDP to run DLS remotely. DLSFinancials is always changing. With the Annual Support Agreement or ASA, you get low-cost development of new data point, functions, features, and reports. Most of these are at no cost and becomes available to everyone with an ASA. While many users feel that the ASA is only to fix bugs in the program, the major reason for the ASA is to get all these new features that others request or they request themselves. 95% of DLS was designed by users. The program that you purchased up to 25 years ago will always be the latest version, with all the features and functions added over the years, as long as you keep your ASA up to date. We encourage users to contact us about how they can get DLS to do more. Our staff will talk with you and work out a solution to solve any limitations that you feel DLS has. If you need a new report or export of data, just ask. Need a new type of account? Help us to understand how you use DLS, and we will design and put in what you need. We only announce major updates like DLS 12 when we feel that there are features and functions that others may be interested in. Minor updates are announced on the login page, so be sure to read it when it changes. Minor updates can be put in by anyone with access to the updates and data location on the server. We will provide an update zip file that you only need to replace in this folder to update everyone when they start DLS. But typically, our users like for us to take care of this for them. Major updates like DLS 12 require several other changes to the data, file structure, and folder designs. In this situation, we will work with the IT department to take care of the updates with little downtime as possible for DLS. Typically less than 30 minutes. To ask questions about new features, how to get the most out of DLS, special situations that your boss wants to do, or even a mistake that was done, contact Robert A. Rogers at 217-697-0105, extension 5, or email rar at DLSFinancials.com, or look for other DLS Financials videos that are being made to help you get the most out of DLS Financials.